Bring it on, everyone. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Evan, joined as always by my comrades Lauren, Bruce, and Knuckles, because Knuckles is here. Hi, Knuckles.
I would
Hello,
be
Knuckles.
excited, except he's unfortunately trapped in this game, Sonic Battle.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is like some
doing
weird alternate Knuckles.
we're doing Knuckles' story of Sonic Battle tonight, and this might be my least favorite in the game.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who hated it.
I really dislike this story,
I
and
have like 4 notes for this entire story.
there are a couple things about it that I wouldn't necessarily hate if they were in a better game. But in this story, Knuckles and Emerald go on an adventure in the Red Light District, where they are relentlessly attacked by Phi and Gargoyle units.
Oh no, that's right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
This is where the heroes discover, after that, when they get to Tails' lab, they discover the Phi units are powered by Chaos Emerald shards, and then they go to steal some shards from Eggman to power up Emerald.
Yep.
Yep.
We do have one thing that starts in this story that I do actually kind of like, which is Emerald, as he gets more Chaos Emeralds, gets more and more fluent in speech, but he's still kind of based around
Words he's already heard.
copying others, yeah, which is
Yeah.
extremely relevant in this era of generative neural network
Oh yeah, I hadn't
algorithms.
thought about that. That's
Uh,
an interesting thing to bring up.
So he talks like a combination of Sonic and Tails. He's rude sometimes, polite other times, and has absolutely no idea what's going on.
That is on. I do like that concept. That's a really funny concept.
Yeah.
So, starting out, apparently Knuckles is cool with Emerald now because he, like, respects their fighting strength, which, okay, sure, makes sense, I guess.
Good enough.
Yeah.
And you start out with a sparring match against Knuckles as Emerald. And then when you win, Knuckles is just like, I shouldn't have held back so much.
Oh, he's being he's conceited. He's trying to still talk himself up. I plugged in the skills to make that fight much easier than the first time, Nucky boy. You don't get to use that excuse.
Don't call him Nucky Boy.
You do get to use Knuckles a little bit in this story. I will say, I think Knuckles is a fun character in this game, mostly because he has the best healing stat, or at least one of the best healing stats.
Yeah, I don't think he's fun in this game. He's too slow.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I just glide everywhere.
well, I'm not as smart as you, Devin.
I know.
Okay.
Next in the plot, we go to Amy's house. So that's where we learn where Amy lives. Is in this story. She's just
Oh yeah.
at a place.
This is not Station Square, though.
She has multiple apartments. She has.
Wait, how did she pay for them?
She probably had to move because the rent got raised or something.
Oh, or
Oh.
the entire city flooded.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hadn't thought about that. That could be it.
Yeah. I actually just thought of that literally right this second. So I'm not.
That's hilarious.
But she doesn't really have a role here. She just says, "Oh wow, maybe Sonic's gonna come by and propose to me." And then
boy.
Emerald's just like, "In your dreams," and then leaves like a savage.
He's like a fucking middle schooler.
Absolute Chad.
Oh God.
Yeah. And it really is simplistic in how you move from place to place in this story. It's literally just we're in Emerald Town, then we're in the big city, and then we're in the Night District. It just kind of gets stranded
you
there.
can't skip our blessed weekly encounter with the robot Gamma.
Oh
where
yeah,
he gets
that's
to
right.
show up as usual for
And
no
do
particular
basically
reason.
nothing.
Although we do get Emerald saying to him, "Shut up! I'll tear this rust bucket apart." Once again, displaying their newfound language skills.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the part where you get to control Knuckles first.
Oh, I thought it was later. Sorry.
It's kind of neat, their moves. I do like that you can dig and then you just go up and down the elevation inexplicably when you're moving around on the ground. It's nice mechanically, but it's kind of weird if you think about it.
I like Knuckles's his ranged attacks where he just grabs a big fucking rock and hits you
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, I love that. That's very Knuckles. That's very Unga Bunga.
Very funny, but very hard to aim with in my experience.
Yeah, no, using it is shit, but the idea of it's fucking hilarious.
Yes, and I did miss the Gamma appearance, mostly because he appears a second time later in the story, doesn't he?
He does.
That might be true. Yeah, I know to say yes. Okay. We actually get some information on him this time too. Not from him. He just blows up again, I think. But
Quote,
then
unquote.
Rouge, right? Yeah, I don't get that. But well, you know. Then again, in battle, he blows up and then he's fine. So
All the
um,
other characters fucking disintegrate when they die.
true. Anyway, Rouge shows up, and she's like, I must once again spread confusion, because she's like, oh yeah, that Gamma, they're trying to retrieve Emerald, and they're probably just a new robot based on a reused design, powered by Emerald shards. But she doesn't say that definitively, so my brain is still going crazy here. They're being very confusing about this.
Yeah.
It's just not a very good mystery. It's literally just a character you think you remember might be back. Are they? No. Oh, well, okay then.
There's a bit more to it than that, because they really try to build it up, and there are bits later where I feel like they were going one way and then they don't go that way. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm infuriated that Gamma's in this game. It
I
did
can
things to
understand
my
that.
head, including the way that Knuckles talks about this here after Rouge reveals that. I feel like there's like a mistranslation or something, because he's like, after Rouge says that, he's like, ah yes, of course, Gamma wasn't really trying. What? Why would that follow from he was a reused design trying to retrieve Emerald? Why would he not be
Yeah.
trying? That would mean he was trying hard, surely.
Also,
Look,
surely that
we
would
can
make him seem
determine-
more like the original Gamma, who was a complete pushover to fight against.
True.
True. Although, did Knuckles ever fight Gamma?
No, he didn't. Actually, I'm wondering if Knuckles. Okay, Knuckles did see Gamma in that game. He followed him around a couple times, but he never saw Gamma fight, so whatever. I think it's literally just that they're saying that the robot is probably weaker to imply that it's not as good as the original.
Okay.
That's my guess, I
That
don't know.
is probably what they meant. Again,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a mistranslation. More on Gamma later. The story is done with him for now. Instead, we get not Gammas, aka the guard Robos.
The
So
best part about this game.
I'm actually amused by their appearance here, because we get instead of them just showing up being like, I'm gonna kill you now, they're actually like integrated into the facilities. Just random citizens own guard robos apparently. There's just a clerk at the Night Babylon bar, and they call over a guard robo. They're just like, you rang.
Yeah, and
or you like walk into a convenience store.
and
Yeah,
this
there's a
is
guard robo standing there.
this is
Yeah.
the worst part of the whole game for me because in
Ooh,
the Night
yeah.
District area, you have like 4 or 5 places that you can go to, and all of them will throw Phi units or guard robos at you, but only visiting specific places in a specific order will actually progress the game. You don't even have Emerald with you for a lot of it, which I think
Mhm.
means that you can't get points or cards. I actually don't know for certain. It's really really bad if you don't know what to do, which is why I told you guys to use a walkthrough for this game. I didn't tell you these
Which I
cheats,
did.
but
I did use a walkthrough. To be fair, I was using the walkthrough before the cheats.
I don't blame you for any of it, but I especially don't blame you for this point because it
Yeah.
fucking sucks if you don't know where to go.
Yeah, this is a little ridiculous. I
It
don't
really
know what they were
is.
thinking here.
I even
Yeah.
I trialed and errored it with save states instead of using a walkthrough myself. And even if you do that, you still have to pay very close attention to minor differences in the dialogue to even know if you're getting thrown into another fight yet.
Yeah.
Why did you do this to yourself, Devin?
Honestly, yeah.
Nothing can phase me at this point. I'm gonna do the silver ball puzzle in 06 legitimately. You can't stop me.
We have to
Alright.
help him, Bruce. There's something wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hold a fucking an intervention for Devin.
Okay, well, you'll hold that in like a year because we've still got a bunch of cartoons and comics to get through first.
Oh god, that's
And
right.
an entire way padded out game right here in front of us, if you've forgotten.
Hey, this is our halfway point, so it's still padded. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, this is padded.
Yeah. So anyway, I have to point out in the middle of this chase, I guess, there's another surprising line from Emerald where he shows up for a second, and Knuckles is like, "Wait up!" And then Emerald responds by saying, "What do you want?" "Nobody can stop me." And then they run off.
He's going goblin mode.
I can't believe
Yeah.
everyone's putting up with him. Like, they're blind. Everyone here is blind.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if they understand the idea that he's basically just mimicking everyone else he's talked to.
Some of the lines that I point out, you could explain that way. I don't know about some of the other ones. It seems like he's taking them and he's twisting them to be more extreme. That's just me, though.
Maybe
Yeah.
he is.
I
I guess my question is, at this point, is Emerald really fully sentient?
that's a question that pervades over the entire game. I'm not sure what point he reaches that.
So, I don't know.
Either way, yeah. So it's like it is a giant chore going through Night Babylon trying to find Emerald.
Yeah.
By the time you get them back together, you almost feel like, all right, well, that was a pain in the ass, but at least the story's over. No, it's not. No.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Now we have to fucking get Eggman because they were trying to get an emerald, and
I just don't get it.
Oh, you skipped all the way to the Eggman base?
what's between the running around and that?
There's a chick.
Rouge
You-
shows up.
Rouge shows up. You
Um,
also go to Emerald Beach, which is that's not where you first meet Eggman. See Eggman, and then
Really?
you chase
Wow.
Eggman back.
Yeah,
to
there's
his
a whole
base.
Eggman pursuit thing.
Yeah, that's true.
This has been hard to take notes on because there's so many things that I consider utterly unremarkable about it.
That's fair, honestly.
I just track every fight, which is why some of my notes are guard robos ×2, guard robos ×3. But at least it helps me track what's happening. So, yes, Rouge shows up. That's where this was all headed towards. And then Rouge and Knuckles help Emerald with by getting some Emerald shards from some of the Phi units. In plot, I guess the way they try to explain, because you can fight a billion Phi units, like, well, wouldn't you get a billion Emerald shards? No. If it's not a plot relevant moment, the Phi unit just runs away. They just use exit stage left, their special move, which is really annoying. But after retrieving the shards, there's another great line for Emerald where they're like, "Ah, thanks for the Emerald shards. Guess you have a use after all."
Sassy boy. Also, do they enlist Tails' help with these? I don't remember.
No.
Tails shows up
like right
a
at
little
the
bit.
end, right?
Well, I'm just thinking, we have Emerald shards. Did they just, like, take them apart and put them back together like Legos?
So, oh yeah, no, that's where they're going next. They don't. He doesn't eat the Emerald shards yet because there's like, I can't use them in this form. Got to go fix them. Let's go to Tails. Also,
Yeah.
I don't know how this comes up, but at one part in the dialogue, Rouge references the Master Emerald, which I have a note of because I'm like, oh, there is a Master Emerald in this game, confirmed. I assume nothing. I thought maybe Knuckles just had Chaos Emerald, but no, he does. He's just playing hooky or something. But yes, they go to Tails, and there's this really adorable moment, actually, where Tails asks Emerald, "Oh, have you been a good boy?" And he's like, "Yes! Tails, have you been a good boy?" And Tails like, "Yes!"
That was weird.
No, it's the Good Boys Club. They're good. Serious good boy energy all around. I say as Emerald has become a fucking delinquent in this game by this point, but you know.
He's become a fucking menace.
It totally is. But they totally have been. But Tails doesn't see it because this is the side that he sees. He's many-faced, that wily little robot. Knuckles, I think, is starting to see it, though, because there's a sparring match here, and after losing, Knuckles is like, "You sure are a powerful, annoying little kid."
Yeah.
And yeah, then there's only one per story, so they must not make the Emerald Shards into an Emerald yet?
They do it like right at the end.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, we need a few more shards or something."
Yeah, because I think that's when they go to Eggman's base next.
Yes.
Yeah, next we get to chase a few Phi units. Ain't that so fun? Because that's right.
We're collecting
Eggman.
those shards from those Phi units. I think.
Eggman is there, and he's defending himself with the Phi units. That's right.
Yes, we're chasing Eggman, and he uses the Phi units, right?
It is a little hard to follow.
It is a little bit.
Definitely.
That's what I'm thinking, because across the Eggman mission part of the story, like, you have done so much fighting by this point. This might be the longest story. I actually don't know if it is, but it feels like the longest.
Possible.
I think fights-wise, or fights number-wise, it is.
By the end of it,
far.
you are beaten to a bloody pulp by all the fights that you've done.
Tails even mentions that Emerald and Knuckles look like shit.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
It also includes later 2 really long fights against Gamma with Emerald.
Yeah,
Nice
where Gamma's doing extra damage.
We're getting there in a minute. First, we have to have another one of those moments. They just have to have it in every game with my poor boy Knuckles.
Oh boy.
So, you chase Eggman for a while, and then he's like, "Oh no, I must escape. I am escaping to the Gimme Shelter right now. No one will find me at the Gimme Shelter." And then Knuckles is like, "I think he went to the Gimme Shelter. Let's go." Yeah, it's very obvious what he's doing there. Although, why did he name his base the Gimme Shelter? It doesn't change. It's not something he made up. That's just the actual name.
He likes classic rock.
Yes, I don't know.
I think it literally is a reference to the Rolling Stones song.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah.
I sure hope it's actually Rolling Stones and not something else that I've misremembered.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It was. Anyway, yeah, so the thing is, if it weren't a trap, you wouldn't even notice. It's just like, oh, that's just how Sonic game writing is.
To an extent, yeah.
Right, but they're trying to beat down on my boy again.
They made Knuckles dumber by having him read the script.
Yes, Eggman base time. I didn't actually expect an Eggman base in this game.
I didn't expect one so early.
That's, well, yeah, and this early. It's a cool looking area. We get to see some E-Series robots under construction, including
cool.
a green model that we've never seen before, which is kind of weird. I would have expected to make it an actual existing color, but yeah. And then there's a great part where Eggman is like, "Ha ha ha! I deserve an award for my acting." It's wonderful that they're so proud of themselves when it was actually a terrible job and Knuckles is just an idiot.
And at least Eggman's the only one who seems to still be in character.
True. He doesn't have too many like super outstanding moments, but like at least he's himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Would Eggman have been a theater kid? I feel like he might.
Yes, 100%.
So I get what you're saying about the trick. I do think that it's more okay in this case because Knuckles just kind of brute forces his way through the base through this whole thing. Like, he gets caught in like I think it's like an electricity trap. I know there's a bunch of fighting in between then and now.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't really, he just kind of shakes it off, doesn't give a shit.
Kind of. That's not really true, actually.
Not really.
We'll get there in a second. First, we get what we've been building up towards, which is that Gamma is not actually Gamma. They are, in fact, Chaos Gamma.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't see how this is a very interesting reveal.
Well, you see, I was like, oh, they've built this up so much. There must be something they're going towards. I will not reveal if they are or not. Read into that as you will. But I was like, oh, okay, interesting, I guess. But what really interested me was the way they interact with Eggman here. Because Eggman is like, you failed me last time, don't fail me again. Go, get Emerald. And then Gamma says to Eggman, which you hardly ever see robots talk back to Eggman. He's like, okay, you're going to give me a Chaos Emerald, right? And then Eggman's like, yes, of course, if you succeed. And I'm like, yo, what? Gamma still has, like, independent consciousness? Whoa, they're going to do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to... I guess, since, they call him Chaos Gamma because he's powered by a Chaos Emerald shard, I think.
Right.
So, what does more shards in a robot that's not a Gizoid mean?
I assume it just allows them to be stronger.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
I
mean...
Gizoids use the Chaos Emeralds to... They seem to get more from it than just being strong.
The most I could say is that, this Gamma has, a very different personality, obviously, than SA1 Gamma, because he's characterized in this story, maybe later stories I'm thinking ahead to, but generally by being relentless. That's why he keeps getting up after you keep blowing him up multiple times.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
So it's like, maybe if we really wanted to cram this into the series with the rest. He's sort of an iteration upon the Omega personality, where he's got
Mm.
that intimidation factor but is a little bit more loyal. Something like that? I don't know.
You're probably right. I'm surprised you read into it that much because I felt like more like, well, let's talk about it when we get there, I suppose. There's more in store for Chaos Gamma. But at the moment, you just fight him again, which, yeah, I did, well, 2 fights in one, well, 2 sets of fights. Because you know how Sonic Battle does it. Two sets of fights in one episode. Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess makes it 4 fights?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and then you blow him up. He'll be back, don't worry. And so yeah, this is the part where no, Knuckles is not having a good time. Actually, he's
Yeah.
trapped by this electrical restraint, and he's like, "Oh, Emerald, I'm having trouble with this. Let me out of here. Hit that switch." And Emerald is just like, "Are you so weak you can't break out?" And then Knuckles is like, "Fine." And he tries to break out, and then he fails, and gets like really tired out. And then Emerald is like, "Fine," and then he goes and lets him out. But like after that, Knuckles has no concerns.
Yeah, that was what I meant, was
Yeah.
less that Knuckles was indefatigable, and more that he was just, like, rolling with the punches, like, oh, yeah, you know. Like that.
Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
my companion here to let me out, what almost didn't feel like doing it. Actually, was very reluctant to help me. At the
Yeah, I
end.
see what you're saying, like,
Strange.
that should be a red flag.
Very
Yeah.
much
Oh,
so.
yes, definitely.
I still wouldn't characterize that as Knuckles-specific stupidity, though.
Well, no, because every character in this game is like, Emerald's the best.
Yeah, let's give more power to this thing we were explicitly warned not to give more power to.
Yeah.
Because the plot demands it.
Well, yeah, they get out of there, and I think this is the part where they say, "Wow, you look like shit," because like they
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, well,
They've been beaten half to death like 4 times.
They look how you feel after having played this story.
for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, this one is rough. This one wiped me out.
It is. It really is.
There
Emerald
is.
gets another Chaos Emerald. Yay!
Hey.
There's clearly effort that went into a lot of different parts of this game, but it's not coalescing into anything I actually like very much, and that's kind of sad. I remember liking this game a lot as a kid, but it's just given me nothing but endurance tests mostly.
I remember when we got into the adventure era, this was one of those games I was actually pretty interested in because I enjoyed Sonic the Fighters. And I was like, ooh, another Sonic fighting game.
If this
And then
game
we
played
got
like
this.
Sonic the Fighters,
Really, honestly, I
and
don't wanna
only
say
had
too
one
much.
fight at a time.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because we're getting into full game analysis, which probably needs to be left for the last episode. But this game really would
Oh,
have been
and there's
better
more
off.
to come too.
Oh yeah, but like this game would have been better off, honestly, as a one-on-one traditional 2D fighter.
And again, don't
It probably
package
pulled it off
multiple of
better.
the same fight over
Yeah.
and over.
Well, yeah, having to repeat the fights is one of the biggest problems.
I wonder if you could like hack it, you know? Just
There's
hack
at
the
least-
game to remove every repeat.
There is at least one hack for this game that I found, but I didn't really look into what it did.
There are numerous like sprite hacks and stuff on like Game Banana, and I know that there's
I saw that.
I know that
saw
there's
like a Sonic Battle redo or something.
well, so that's not even a sprite. That's a redo of the script to make it less stupid.
Oh, is that it?
Okay, because I was gonna say if you fix the fights, you still have to fix the story.
Here's the thing: I could put up with the stupid story if at least the stories didn't take like an hour and a half for no reason.
So that then you. There's a lot of dialogue too.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but it's easier to
That's
talk about
true,
this story
yeah.
than about the same gameplay every week. So
yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. We're having to talk about what's effectively the same fights over and over again.
because here we are, less than a half hour in, and we're done with this episode because we've talked about
Yeah.
mostly the story, not the gameplay.
The gameplay is becoming less and less of an important part of the episode.
The best Sonic game to watch a YouTube playthrough of.
This Sonic game really just screams, "Make me a visual novel."
Yeah, I'd play that.
Well, let's see how it all pans out, I suppose. But
Yeah,
I
let's watch.
don't know that I agree
or
with
excuse me,
that.
let's play the other half of the game.
Yeah, next week on Deep Dive Zone, we have, of course, the dating sim part of the visual novel, because it's going to
Oh,
be
no.
Amy's story. Joyous, don't you just want more of this version of Amy?
I already had to fight Psychosis. I don't want to play as Psychosis.
Sounds like a good name for a Dark Souls boss.
Play as Psychosis?
Anyway, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to reach us anywhere, we have a whole bunch of links on the link tree in the description. And with all that said, we will see you next time for another episode. But all that being what it is, we will see you next time. I hope you have a great night, and take care.